Hello and welcome. I am Light, and this is my channel. This video is going to be another in my series of true unsolved murder cases. I haven't done one in a while, and I know that people are interested in these, so I thought I would go ahead and do another one. This particular case is about Amy Renee Mihaljevic, who was a 10-year-old girl when she was kidnapped and murdered in Ohio in October of 1989. Her murder case raised national attention. The story of her unsolved kidnapping and murder was one of the first cases presented by John Walsh on his television show America's Most Wanted during its first year. And if you do not know, John Walsh started America's Most Wanted due to a horrific event that happened in his own life. John Walsh's son, Adam, was taken in broad daylight from a Sears store in a mall in Hollywood, Florida, when the boy was just 6 years old. The child's severed head was found 2 weeks later. Like Adam Walsh, Amy was kidnapped from a shopping center. On October 27, 1989, Amy was taken from the Bay Square Shopping Center in Bay Village, Ohio. Apparently, the abductor had contacted Amy by telephone and arranged to meet her under the pretext of buying a gift for her mother. The caller had told her that her mother had recently been promoted. On February 8, 1990, the girl's body was found in a field close to the road, off County Road 1181 in Ashland County, Ohio. Evidence found at the crime scene suggests that Amy's body was probably dumped there shortly after her abduction, and based on the findings of the coroner, Amy's last meal was still in her stomach, and it consisted of some sort of a soy substance, so maybe an artificial chicken product or Chinese food. Other evidence includes pieces of yellow-colored fibers found on her body, and it appears that her killer also took several souvenirs, including the girl's horse riding boots, her denim backpack, a binder with Buick Best in Class written on it, and turquoise earrings in the shape of horse heads. Blood belonging to Amy was also found on her underclothes. The Bay Village Police and the FBI conducted an extensive investigation into Amy's disappearance and murder. The case generated thousands of leads, and dozens of suspects were asked to take lie detector tests, but no one has ever been charged with a crime, even though there was a reported 20,000 interviews having taken place during the investigation. In 2005, a Cleveland journalist named James Renner re-examined this cold case with a series of articles in the weekly newspaper, The Cleveland Scene. Renner's 2005 series provided new research that he had independently undertaken, as well as openly soliciting from the public for new information and clues. In October 2006, publisher Gray & Company released a book about Renner's investigation into the murder called Amy, My Search for Her Killer, and the book provided information previously unreleased by the police and the FBI. In November of 2006, it was revealed that several other girls, some with unlisted phone numbers, had received phone calls similar to that which Amy had responded to during the weeks prior to her abduction in 1989. These comprised requests from an unknown man claiming to work with her mother and asking the girl to help him shop for a present to celebrate her mother's job promotion. These girls who received the calls lived in North Olmsted, which is a suburb near Bay Village. This new information was considered significant by new movement on the case. Amy, who was the last girl to receive one of those calls, and the other girls had all visited the local Lake Erie Nature and Science Center, which had a visitor's logbook by the front door. that the girls may have signed, and they may have possibly added their personal information such as their address and phone numbers. In late 2013, investigator Phil Torsney actually returned from retirement to work on this case, which he had originally been assigned to after she was murdered. Torsney is probably best known for aiding in the capture of Whitey Bulger, who was a longtime member of the FBI's 10 Most Wanted list. Bulger was wanted for murders in connection with his ties to the mob. Torsney has stated that he believes that Amy was transported out of Bay Village after she was kidnapped because he believes the town is too dense and too close-knit to be a likely place to commit a murder. He believes that the murder likely took place in Ashland County, which the murderer was probably familiar with. In response to her daughter's death, Amy's mother, Margaret McNulty, co-founded a foundation to protect children from such situations that happened to Amy. However, sadly, McNulty had suffered from lupus after the death of Amy, and it resulted in her death at the age of 54 in 2001. So, as of today, this abduction and murder case remains unsolved. No one has paid the price for the death of this 10-year-old child, and her mother didn't get to live long enough to see justice be done. There is a man that James Renner says is a top suspect in the case. He's a very well-liked teacher who possibly volunteered at the Lake Erie Nature and Science Center at the time of the murder. He's told the FBI that he doesn't remember being at the center during this time, but at least 8 former students and teachers reported hearing him speak of being there. However, because this man is so well liked, Mr. Renner got a lot of blowback from the community for even suggesting that it could be him, and the man does deny that he is the perpetrator. If you have any information regarding this case, please contact the Bay Village Police or the FBI. And in 2014, the FBI announced that there is a $25,000 reward available for anyone who can provide information that leads to the arrest and conviction of Amy's killer.